from Aging Joyfully.
I'm Steve.
And we just finished putting a new faucet in.
Wow, that wasn't really that hard. As you'll see in the video, it took a lot of bending and underneath the sink, but it wasn't really that hard. 2 hours.
It was a tight area. And have you ever done one before?
I think I have. I think I did it in our last house. We put in a new faucet.
But this one is, you just wave your hand.
Touchless.
We've never had a touchless one.
No.
And why did we want to get a touchless one?
Well, you know, there's times where your hands are just too dirty, or you may have been working with ground beef or chicken or something else that has bacteria on it, and you don't want to touch the faucet.
Yeah, mostly it was for the meat, but also I guess coming from outside, my hands are always dirty if I'm, cleaning up after Sierra or something or whatever.
Touchless faucet is real nice and has a sprayer, and you'll see it in the video. I mean, it was definitely challenging at times because it's a small space and it's tight, and the way that the builder had run the flex piping, it really wasn't convenient.
And just the learning curve. It's tough to do things for the first time. It was challenging because you do it once and then you don't do it again. I mean, if we did another one, it was probably, 5 years ago?
Oh, right, yeah.
Right.
Something like that, yeah.
So what is our next project, Steve?
Well, I don't know yet. We're gonna have to pull it out of a hat, figure out what the next project is.
I know we've had this one for almost 3 months, and Steve opened it up and put it back and said, "Nope, that's too hard."
When really it wasn't hard.
Right.
It's just really being in a tight space and having to be on your back and you're squeezing and you gotta tighten different nuts and washers. It made it a little bit tough, but hey, we got through it and it looks good and it works.
One project I want to do is I wanted to put rocks outside as landscaping instead of doing some mulch that you have to replace, but it's so cold we just can't bear the thought of doing that in this cold weather.
Yeah, and the rocks are pretty heavy because we're talking about like a ton of rocks.
Well, altogether they're heavy, but they're going to be small rocks.
Yeah, not pebbles, but still
a little bigger than pebbles.
Right. Just
some decorative. I don't really want white. I like maybe a tannish rock, but I don't know. Maybe we'll wait for spring for that when we get new flowers and get everything spruced up for spring. I did start trimming some of our bushes, and that's a nightmare. They really grew high. They grew almost the size of the house, which was not as high as the house, but the first floor. They grew almost as high as the first floor, which was just shocking how much those bushes grew this year.
Yeah, when you trim them back, they grow back pretty fast if they're healthy.
So I started that little project, and it's just so cold. Normally it gets warm in a couple days, but it hasn't seemed to have done that. It seems to be staying cold or raining.
Yeah, that's definitely miserable. Today was pretty miserable with it being cold and rainy.
So yeah,
and windy. And
then decluttering, I finally started to get rid of some of our stuff. So throwing out and trying to sell things, just trying to do our spring cleaning a little early this year and plan some trips, but we don't really have much planned. It's just been a cold, wet winter, and we've had COVID, so we're still kind of taking it easy after that and just looking for things to do, right?
That's right. Well, things come to us to do.
Yeah, things come to us all the time.
Anyway.
Stay tuned and see what you think.
Touchless faucet. Let us know about if you want to go touchless faucet.
We knew 2 other people who had it, and of course we're always keeping up with the Joneses, aren't we? Every time we see somebody has something, we want to get it to.
Well, it's convenient. It's a good idea.
Well, the meat thing, that's a lot of illnesses come from spreading the germs from meats. Yeah, that's the biggie. I think when we went to the CDC Museum one time, and they talked about most illnesses in the old days were foodborne illnesses, right? Most people got sick from food. And that museum is free in Atlanta if you ever get over here. I don't know, it wasn't open through COVID, so I don't know if they've ever reopened, but it's definitely worth going to if you're in Atlanta.
It certainly is.
So you stay tuned and see. I am so proud of my husband. Thank you for doing that.
Sure, that's what I'm here for. Right, yep. So watch the video about the new faucet and tell us what you think. Comment, subscribe, hit notifications, and we'll see you next time. This is exciting. Gonna have this new faucet put in no time.
It's been months already, hasn't it?
It sure has.
Disconnecting the faucet. Ooh, is everything unplugged? It's not dangerous, right?
Hey, hi. We're gonna get this faucet out.
Finally!
And we're gonna put the new one in.
It's been a while.
Just unscrewing everything here. Check back in just a few minutes.